很清楚。可是其实你去网络上听他们真正的本地人在讲话的话，我自己很多都听不懂，因为他们自己编掉的都也都完全不一样。重点是你要会抓那个意思。这个意思，你不能抓单字，因为如果你听的时候你是在抓单字的话，你会很多都听不懂。如果你可以抓一片、一段，然后你知道那一段，那就 OK。那你要不要这样子讲话？随便你。要不要这样子讲话不是重点，重点是。听跟什么东西都一样，重点是听啊。所以我教小朋友的时候，我也会教他们这个，可是我不会花1个半小时去教。我教他们，就比如说这个礼拜我们是 how many horses are there? There are 2 horses. So after they're done, after they tell me all the dictation, then when we go back and read it, I'll tell them how many horses are there. So I'll put the我回去我们重练的时候，我会说 horses are， 然后小朋友会说 horses are，horses are there，horses are there。OK，keep going。所以我整个对话可能花了大概3分钟。为什么要花1个小时教你们？是因为你们是老师啊，跟那个 Olympics 一样。我第1节课我跟你说，如果你是apple， 那你去讲话的时候 apple。可是如果你是 apple， 然后你去讲话的时候 apple， 哦，你发音好标准了啊。练习跟平常讲话要不一样，练习要过度练习，你平常讲话才会顺畅的，才会很标准啊。So it's very important. I know it's boring and it's not very fun, but it's very important to understand where these things go together. When you teach your kids, horses are there. There are. So then you teach them there are, right? There are 2 horses. Kids say there are 2 horses, and then you just go through. Right? 5th grade, 5年级我就这样子就带过去，完全不会 focus， 大概3分钟。到6年级，我会花多一点点的时间，因为我会教他们自己去挑出来。所以5年级我就直接教，然后就带过去。6年级他们要跟我讲在哪里，然后我们会一起练，是这样子。可是6年级，如果5年级花3分钟，6年级可能花5分钟、6分钟。And I know you guys have to take tests, right? 你们要考试，是，哎。如果你去考试，你这个不懂的话。你考试分数也不会很高。
老师，你来考对吗？
可以的话。如果去口试 ，if you speak like this and tell them what you want to say。对你讲太标准的话，可能分数也不会那么高。哦，可是那是看评审。如果评审的英文很好的话，如果他们真的懂的话，然后你讲很标准，他们分数会给你低一些。不是，如果评审英文没有很好的话，你讲很标准的话，他们可能会给你分数高一点。可是如果他们英文很好的话，他们会听你讲话很痛苦。就好像我去听那个小朋友的那个演讲比赛，我跟台湾老师一起听同一个演讲，我们的分数会差很多。因为讲得很顺利的，我会说哇好，就给他们分数很好。可是讲得很，There was a bird in the tree, and the bird。台湾评审会也比较高。因为什么东西都很清楚，可是对我们来说看得很不舒服，所以是 一部分是要看运气，可是最好是准备很好，然后希望是运气是在标准的那一边的啊，就是在很顺利的那一边。And now, time to talk. In your book, did you all listen to your homework? Yeah? Okay, so what are we talking about? What's the topic? Games, video games. Who likes to play video games? Who likes to play video games? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 boys! 3 boys in the class like to play video games. None of the girls.
可是我跟那个歌曲可以再问一下。
OK。
就是，第一个是那个 horser 那个如果没有复数的 horse， 那个念起来也是 horser 吗
？OK， 就是另外一个，我6年级也会比较相信。If it's horses, right?
好，没问题了，谢谢。I say。
没有，可是你问的问题其实蛮有趣。Horse is and horses， 它们2个是一样的音。The horse is in the barn. The horse is in the barn. The horse is in the barn. So horse is and horses is exactly the same. There's another problem here though. It's not horses. The kids always say horses, but it's horses. So here, horses are. So it's actually a Z sound. Horses are.
可是那另外刚刚这首歌啊，你说，上次老师有介绍有一位黑人的他的歌很字正腔圆，就是每个音都很准。那这个是很多都有变音，那学英文是要学2种都要学，还是说，有时候去
什么都要听懂
啊？
只能说什么都要听懂啊。你要怎么讲随便你。
好。
If you want to talk like a rapper, then you can talk like a rapper. You can walk around like this. 如果你要这样子讲话，随便你。If you want to speak like a proper gentleman, then you are free to speak like a proper gentleman. 你要选择你自己要学的哪一个口音随便。可是你什么都要听懂，因为你听不懂的话，你选英文干嘛？所以你听的时候，那个 country song fingers, I got 5 fingers， 你这个口音也要学，因为你要听懂。可是标准的英文也要听懂，可是英国的口音也要听懂，所以你最好是什么东西都听。然后就是我说的 intense listening and very very focused listening。对，不要听然后就带过去，你要认真去听他到底在讲什么。
老师，那我还有一个问题。
OK，
我还认得，就是老师刚刚叫我们用自己的密码，自己的那个拼音嘛。那就是说如果找写这个拼音的人起来念或者是唱完以后，再来去听，会有比较多练习，比较有帮助。还是因为大家都写了，可是只有老师写的是拼音，而有些是直接是那个单字的音，可是有些。
如果你回去重听，然后不要看原文的，你就看红色的这些字，你可能会发现你唱的比较顺利。
用红色的唱的比较顺。
对。如果你看原文的话，就是标准的拼音的话，你会一直想这个要怎么讲，这个要怎么讲，这个要怎么讲，所以会比较不顺畅。所以这是我学中文有一个优势，是你们国字就是看不懂，就是没有拼音在里面。所以我学中文的时候，我就下载很多那个 KTV 的东西啊，然后我就听他讲什么，没有拼音我没办法，我就是要模仿他的声音。
KTV 吗？不是。
对，我学什么？
我忘了多久，你没有听到。
然后什么，
你最爱的
那童话那首歌。
对，我就是我选那首歌完全没有拼音，我就是听到什么就讲什么，听到什么就讲。
我爱你，爱的你，就算
老鼠会
我爱
唱。
到你。
所以那个的，他就说的，所以我就说的。
哦，结果哦对，哦了解。
所以我唱 KTV 应该是算不一定算好听，我不是夸奖我自己，不一定算好听，因为那是我的什么技巧什么的。可是发音应该是算蛮标准的，
对，
因为我不是用拼音去学的，我只是看到那个国字，大概背它那个国字大概出什么音，所以我是这样唱的。所以我在嘉义的时候，我在幼稚园，然后老板带就是全部的老师去 KTV， 因为大家很喜欢去 KTV， 然后大家都在吃吃喝喝聊天，然后唱什么童话，然后唱完的时候，老板就看过去，是你唱的，他就完全没有听到那个不一样的口音，也不是说我唱的好听，可是那个音。就是用拼来学的，所以我为什么我的口音跟一般外国人的口音不一样？因为我没有背拼音，我有用过拼音，我的汉语拼音通通都会，可是我不是用那个去学，我不是看这个字典去学，所以我烧饼我都说烧饼，可是我朋友都说烧饼，或是什么另外一个是什么出差。Steve 有去看我那个工作室怎么讲的，所以我已经讲这个故事。出差就你们说出差，你们都听懂吗？
对啊。
可是你查字典没有这个字，因为不是出差啊，是出差。对，那个音是准舌，可是你们没有准舌，所以我说出差。可是外国朋友都会说出差，他会有那个特别强调那个差。所以他们在大陆比较吃香，因为大陆比较会整舌，北方比较会整舌，所以这是差别，就在这里。你要学什么口音？如果我想讲话像北京人一样，我也可以像北京人讲话。你去哪儿呢？这小姑娘好可爱哦。我要学北京的那个一点也可以，可是我不喜欢这个就不会。谢谢。对 ，yes。
那个我们国语啊，根本都强调是听不懂的，因为需要听。对啊。
Yes, the same problem with English. If you come from Beijing, I can understand you. If you come from Xi'an, well, I can understand. If you come from Sichuan, I can understand. If you come from 西双版纳，我也听懂，因为我去过西双版纳。If you speak 广东话, you speak Cantonese. With the Cantonese, I can understand you. If you speak with the Taiwanese, I can understand you. Can I say all of those languages? No. But I've listened to all those people speak before. Because I lived in Guangzhou. I lived in Guilin. I spent 2 or 3 weeks in Sichuan in Yunnan. And on the train, 坐火车的时候, on the train, there's lots of people from everywhere. So people from Beijing and everywhere else. So I've heard all of the different accents. And when they talk to me, the only thing I can do is intense listening. Oh my God, what did he say? I just have to focus on what he's saying, try to figure out what he said, and then respond. Another example is Taiwanese. If you two speak Taiwanese together, I can understand you. But if you speak Taiwanese to me, I don't know. Because I've never done the intense listening for Taiwanese. 因为我没有，就是大家都讲 Chinese, right? Everybody speaks Chinese. So I've never had the chance of somebody speaking to me in Taiwanese. 我没有机会有人一直跟我讲台语，然后我要强迫自己去认真听。I can try it. You can do it. You can do it. But that's the same idea as this. You can speak Taiwanese. So why am I doing this? This is how I learned Chinese. The difference is I did it on a train, and I did it in a restaurant, and I did it getting a hotel room, and I did it shopping. But since you live in Taiwan, you don't really have the chance to do that outside. So You just have a boring teacher who makes you do it in the classroom, and it's not necessarily fun and it takes a lot of time, but once you can start doing that and grabbing that stuff, then your pronunciation will improve a lot and your listening will improve a lot and all this stuff will get better. So it's not always fun, but you gotta push yourself past that point. We call it comfort zone. 舒适区或什么的 the comfort zone. You have to push yourself outside of that comfort zone, and then you can improve a lot more. Okay? Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
thank you. We will do our best to listen different English.
Right.
But you know, 就是中文跟英文不一样的地方是，中文是一字一音嘛。
Right. One.
So how do you connect? 就是你在 KTV 的时候 how do you 就是 connect the sound and the word 就是传音。你怎么？
那个音跟那个字还是两个字。
就是中文的话，像你唱那个 KTV， 因为中文是一字一音嘛。
Right.
那所以你听到一个音，你就可以那个去对荧幕上的那个字。
Right.
但是我们的学英文的困难是因为英文是音组合起来的。
Right.
又常常有变音。
Right.
所以我们就常常听，我们没有办法听那个音去对那个荧幕上。
Right.
English.
So use your ears, not your eyes. When you learn a new song, don't read the words to the song. Listen to what they say and say it back. Or when you listen to the song, write it down. You know what I mean? Invent your own spelling. 创造你自己的拼音法。Because if you write what you hear, then when you say it, it's going to be very good. But if you say what you see, it's not going to be very good. And that's why listening is the most important thing that you can teach as a teacher, and it's the most important thing to learn as a student. Even for you guys, even for me. Do you know what I mean? 所以不要看歌词去唱。你先听写自己的歌词下来，然后你去 KTV， 他们的歌词就当做协助、提醒，就当做提醒，不当做那个标准的发音。OK。
还有问题。
OK。
可是那个，老师跟我们讲英文啊，我觉得我个人啊，我听得懂，是老师可能是没有放慢，或是讲比较简单。可是我说我们中文要讲意思，但是要变成英文的 the same meaning 的时候，就很多我们中文人有喜欢用成语啊，这些特别用词啊，不会讲。像今天早上老师问我那个界外界定，我怎么知道怎么讲？对啊，可是我说要这个，老师说听这样了解，我说那是多听还要多讲吗？比例上还是说要
as much of both as you can. Another thing with me learning Chinese is when I was in China, nobody spoke any English. When I was at school teaching, they spoke English. That was okay. But when I went outside to do something, other than hello, nobody spoke any English. And I'll explain later. When I went to China the first time, I was 21. And I was young and stupid. Like most 21-year-old kids are. I taught for about 3 months. And then I quit the job. Because the school was horrible and the boss was horrible and everything was, even now, when I think back, it's just ew. So I quit my job after 3 months. And I went into the countryside for about a month or a month and a half. And it was me and one other foreigner. And we went to Kunming. We flew to Kunming. And then we took bus from Kunming to Xishuangbanna. And then my friend went into Laos. You know, Lao War or something like that, yeah? Laos. Yeah. So he went in, he said, oh, let's go to Laos. Laos is supposed to be really cool. I said, no, I came to China to learn Chinese. I'm staying in China. So he said, okay. So he left. So I was on the border of Laos and China. 那个老挝跟中国的那个 border. And my friend left. And I couldn't speak Chinese. My Chinese was very, very bad. When I was traveling with my friend, when somebody spoke to us, I could understand about half. And he could understand about half. So then they would say something to us, and we'd have a conversation, and then we'd answer. And then they would say something, and then we'd discuss, and then we'd answer. So when he left, I was stuck in the middle of nowhere. And literally, I was in a town that had maybe 200 people, 300 people, in the middle of the jungle, in the middle of nowhere. The last bus stop before Laos. Literally, the last bus stop before Laos. Laos was about 20 minutes away or something like that by bus. So I learned Chinese by going to a restaurant and saying, 我要这个. And they say, oh, I say, 这个是什么? They say, 鸡蛋. I say, oh, 鸡蛋. 我要这个. 这个是什么? Oh, 菠菜. Oh, 我要菠菜. That's how I learned Chinese. So and every day, if I wanted a place to sleep, I'd have to go into a hotel and say, 我要房间. They say, oh, 一个人房. And that's just how I did it, yeah? Every day, step by step, all the way through. So, what was your question again?
环境学习嘛，不还是
Right, so you don't have that environment, so you have to make your own environment, and that's what this is. You have to push yourself beyond what's easy. Because if you stop when it's difficult, then you're never going to break that barrier. Why did I break that barrier? Because if I didn't speak Chinese, I couldn't eat. If I didn't speak Chinese, I wouldn't have a place to sleep. So that environment pushed me beyond that thing. But you don't have that environment, so you have to push yourself. When I went back I was in China for about 5.5 months. After 5.5 months, I could have simple conversation in Chinese. I studied Japanese for 3 years. And I can't say anything in Japanese. Because I was in America trying to memorize the words and sentences in the book. Yeah. But Chinese, after about 5 months, I can have a simple conversation. When I went back to America, I found a Chinese roommate. I got a job at a Chinese restaurant. I watched Chinese movies. In my hometown, there are only 3 Chinese movies. So I watched those 3 Chinese movies about 100 times each. Because there are only 3 that I could watch, eh? And there was a song in one of the movies, 摇啊摇到外婆家，外婆把我好宝宝，有会哭有会笑，两只花都会开家. I learned that from the movie because I turned on the movie and 摇啊摇 stop. 摇啊摇啊摇到摇到摇啊摇到歪 stop. Why? Yeah, that's how I taught myself Chinese, from listening. But there's no pinyin on the screen, yeah? It's Chinese and English. Neither of them helps me understand. So I created my own system. 我就用这个创造自己的拼音，就给他听到什么都写下来。所以我那个摇啊摇的，外婆家外婆把我好宝宝，那个大概13、14年前学的，到现在我还记得。因为我就是这样学的。So I didn't have the environment in America, but when I went back to America, it was February. So I became a substitute teacher. And I taught for about, 3 months or 4 months. But during the summer, there are no classes. So I didn't have a job, basically. So I could have no job for 3 months, or I could find another job. So I went to a Chinese restaurant because I wanted to learn Chinese, and I got a job at a Chinese restaurant. I memorized the menu in Chinese, and with all the other people, we're all from China. So when there were no customers, we'd stand in the back and we'd talk in Chinese because I wanted to practice my Chinese. Anytime there were Chinese customers came to the restaurant, the Chinese people hated Chinese customers. Because if you think about it, you go to America and you're a businessman, or you got a PhD, or you're a doctor, and you go to a Chinese restaurant, and you have this little Chinese waitress. You feel horrible, yeah? If you're the waitress, you would feel horrible, because you would feel like they're looking down on 他们看不起你，所以他们很讨厌去服务那些中国客人。So anytime Chinese people came in, they say, Daniel, go! Because they'd be talking, and I say, 要不要喝茶? And they say, and they say, oh, he's a white guy. But he said Chinese. So then we would have a conversation in Chinese, and I would be practicing my Chinese. And I made more money waiting tables at a Chinese restaurant than I did teaching. And when I was teaching, I made, I think, $40 a day, which is, in America, it's nothing. Yeah? 一整天40块. Now I think it's 80. Now it's about double, but it's still very low. When I was waiting tables at a restaurant, I made about $15 an hour. 1小时15块. Because my tips would always be very high. Because if there were Chinese customers, they'd be surprised. Oh, a white guy and he's speaking Chinese, so they would give me higher tips. And if it's white people, they'd say, oh, a white guy in a Chinese restaurant. And also when I talk to them, when the Chinese waitresses, they go to the table. What do you want? Kung Pao chicken. Okay. And they walk around, yeah. But if it was me, I go, hi, James, long time no see. How's your husband? Oh, really? Oh. And I talk to them for 30 seconds. And they say, oh, I have to go. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? Oh, Kung Pao chicken. Okay. And then I leave and go. So the Chinese waiters would get maybe, what, $2 for a tip. But I would get $5 or $6 for a tip. Because I understood the culture and I interacted with my customers. So it's a different style. So I did a completely different style of being a waiter, man. So that's another. So I worked in a Chinese restaurant. I watched Chinese movies. There was no Chinese music. I never listened to Chinese music. I read Chinese children's books. When I was in China, I bought a stack about this high of Chinese children's books. So like a 矛盾是来源的故事. And something about Feng Huang, and something about a Qilin, and something about all this other stuff. Yeah? So when I went to substitute classes at school, they would always have to take a test or do something, because the teacher would always give the substitute an easy job to do. So my job was to hand out the papers, and the kid's job was to shut up and do the paper. So I would sit at the teacher's desk and read the book. And then I would circle the words and write down what it means, and circle the words and write down. So every day I would check the dictionary and write down the words, and check the dictionary and write down the words. So I made my own environment in America. Also, I found people who wanted to learn English, Chinese people who wanted to learn English, and I would teach them English and they would teach me Chinese. So we call it language exchange. Yeah. So you can make your own environment. It's very, very hard, but you can do it. Yeah. And it's not easy. You have to give up a lot of stuff. Okay? Yes.
I heard Xishuangdang is a really good place.
Very nice. Very nice place. But don't drink the water.
Oh.
I was sick very, very bad for a very long time because I drank the water.
Not clean.
Yeah, it's not clean. What happened was there were some kids. I was in Xishuangdang by myself, border of Laos, nothing else around. So I took my children's book and I went down and sat by the river. And there were about 4 or 5 kids playing in the river. So I sat down and opened my dictionary, and I was checking my words and trying to learn Chinese. And then the kids would come over and they sat about where the door is, and I was here. And then after about 5 minutes, they moved to about where the blackboard is. And then after 5 more minutes, they moved to where the chalk is. And then after 5 more minutes, they moved to right behind me. I was like, okay, I can't do anything. So I said, hey guys, let's go for a walk. So then the kids took me across this little bridge into the forest to a temple inside the jungle. It's all trees. And first we went through a village. And the villages were all houses. There were 2-story houses. And the top story had the balcony around the whole thing. And it was filled with women on the top. So all the women were sitting around sewing and talking and helping each other with babies and stuff like that. And I'm just like, wow, oh my God. And then they took me to a little temple. And in the temple, there was a well. And the kids took water up from the well. And they were drinking the water from the well. And they said, oh, do you want some water? And I said, it's from a well. It's got to be clean. It's from the ground. So I drank some. And then that night in the hotel, I was like, oh! All night. And that's when America bombed Iraq. 美国去攻打伊拉克嘛，就那一天。So I was in my hotel room in the middle of nowhere, understanding about 25% of Chinese, saying oh, and watching TV, and saying 美国, oh I know 美国, oh my God, what's going on? And it's just 美国, 伊拉克, 美国. And that's how I learned about America bombing Iraq. And then the next day I went to a store. And the guy in the store, he said something like, where are you from, or something like that. I said America. He said, oh, America number one, America number one, America, boom, 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 Iraq, oh, America, boom, 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 Iraq. I said, what's going on in the world? I don't understand anything. So that took me to here. I had to start really trying to learn so that I could understand what was going on. And then when I went back to Guangzhou, when I was in the tiny little town, if I met somebody who was really, really nice to me, I would ask them where they were from. And there was a girl from Sibao. It's a tiny, tiny little town in Yunnan. So I asked, I said, where are you from? She said, oh, Sibao. So the next day, I went to Sibao. And I spent 2 or 3 days in Sibao, just walking around and talking to people and seeing stuff. And then when I met somebody who was really, really nice to me, I'd say, where are you from? And they would tell me the next day that's where I would go. And then I spent about 3 days there. When somebody was really nice to me, I'd ask me where they were from, and then the next day that's where I would go. So I took about 2 or 3 weeks to go from Xishuangbanna back to Kunming. Just back to Kunming. And then from Kunming, I took the train back to Guangzhou. And the train is, I think, 3 days or something like that in the train. So 3 days surrounded by Chinese people in a very small space. If you don't listen, if you don't speak, you're going to be miserable for 3 days. So that's how I learned to play Chinese chess. 我那时候学那个象棋 because everybody wanted to play Chinese chess. So I said, oh, I have Chinese chess. And they say, oh, wow. They set up the table, and they play with me once or twice, and they say, oh, this is really boring. So then they would always play together and just completely ignore me. So I would watch them play Chinese chess, and that's how I learned how to play Chinese chess. No. Okay? You can do it, but it's hard. You can do it, but it's hard. You
can read Chinese before that.
Now I can because KTV.
No, I mean you watch them play the Chinese chess.
Right.
But you know there are Chinese characters in the chess.
Right, sure. Yeah. So I learned all about the elephant, and I learned horse, and all those things.
You know the Chinese characters.
I do now. I didn't know that. Yeah.
But you say you know how to play.
Yeah, because I learned the characters on the things. And I knew that Bing could do this, and I knew that Shang could do this. Yeah, so that's how I learned those. When I went traveling, I knew Nan and Nu because I had to go to the bathroom. So those are the first 2 Chinese characters I learned. Right? So I mean that's how I learned Chinese. And then in Taiwan I started doing KTV, and that's how I learned to read Chinese with KTV. So. Okay? No one? Thank you.
We still have a few minutes.
Let's skip down to, I don't even think it's in the book. Like, we're going to talk about video games, but my idea is not in the book. I want you to make a video game that's good for your students. There are lots of video games. Some are shooters, and some are hackers, and some are role-playing, and some are whatever, yeah? Most video games are not good for learning. But I want you to come up with an idea of a video game that's good for your students to learn from. I learned a lot of Chinese from video games. I'll tell you later if we have time. I'm not going to talk about it. But there's one game, it was, my brother-in-law gave me a computer. And there was a game on it, so I started playing. And the only way that I could play was to try to figure out what everything was, because it's all in Chinese, and it was a story-based game. So I just had to try to pick out the words that I knew. And I learned a lot of Chinese, like ta to the ta. I learned from that game. Lots of things I learned from that game. Try to think of an idea for a game that would be good for English students to learn from, or would be good for students to learn English from. Okay? Alright, so 3-4 people in a group. Wait, go ahead. I'll tape it and put it on Facebook. Paper, scissors, stone. Oh. The mouse or the gopher or something. I don't know what it's called. I would say hit the gopher. Hit the gopher. Driving game. It's a driving simulator. Yeah, just a basketball game. Claw machine. Claw machine.
grab the ball or any toy.
Any other prizes or toys or? Yes. If you watch the movie Toys 2, it's a movie. There's a claw machine. Gopher. I don't think so. I don't know. Oh, hit the gopher. I think we have it, but I never played it. I have to check. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt. One more thing. Richard mentioned if you have lots of 专有名词 or 成语 or something, then you don't know how to say it. The best thing to do is to throw away your dictionary. Think of a way to explain what you mean. So for example, my Chinese, my pronunciation blah, 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 is okay, but I don't know lots of terminology. 我专有名词不会很多。But I've gotten very good at explaining what I mean. Because if you don't know a word, if I don't know a word in Chinese, I can't pull out a dictionary and look. Because whoever I'm talking to will just walk away. So I have to try to explain the idea. So that's another very good way to learn. Don't use your dictionary, use your brain. Use 3-year-old 3岁小孩的英文 3-year-old's English to explain what you mean. Very basic English to explain big ideas. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's another good way to do it. So instead of using your computer and using your dictionary, other than that. Which one? I think we has dancing, and there's also one called Connect from PlayStation or Xbox or something. Okay, well that's the dancing game, right? Yeah, the dancing game. I think Wii has one. Wii has the controller, but they also have a camera that can see you. But there's another game called Connect. I think it's called Connect. But it's from PS3 or Xbox or something like that. It's the same idea. You just connect the camera to the PS3 and then it can see you. One more time in English. If you push the wrong button, if you push the wrong button,
I have this kind of language. The language is very particular. So we will say the letter A, but it pronounced like like this is button like this is letter B. The information is very.
Oh, we call it baby English.
Yeah, not like we sound American.
This is how you speak to babies. Like if I talk to you, I say this is a letter B.
Yeah.
But if I talk to it, this is the letter B. So different intonation for a different audience. 以你的观众去调整你的那个。
My wife, their children will learn the wrong intonation by
Yes and no. If you focus on right now, they're going to have strange pronunciation. But if you look at right now as the first step, and then there's the second step, and the third step, and the fourth step, then they're going to have very good pronunciation. One problem with maybe traditional education, I don't know. One problem with common education is that when you teach 6-year-old kids, you teach them the pronunciation of a 50-year-old man. Because you want them to be perfect at the first step. So then English becomes blah 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 blah. No ups and downs, no highs and lows, no emphasis, no. Because you teach them very standard English when they're very, very young. But when they're very young, if you teach them, wow, go, then when they get older, then they'll have very good English with very natural emphasis. You know what I mean? Well, it doesn't, what I mean is if you teach little kids the same kind of English as you teach high school kids, then the little kids will have very good English right now. But in the future, their English will just die, it'll be flat. But if you teach little kid English, then when they get older, they'll naturally become very good English. You know what I mean? About, I would say probably to about third grade, you can teach them baby English. Not baby, but very strong emphasis and fun expressions and lots of body movement and everything else. And then after that, because they're going to stop doing that when they get older. Right, exactly. Yeah, strong accent and strong emphasis and everything else. Because when they're in 6th grade, naturally they're not going to say, "This is a birdie," because they're in 6th grade. 6th graders don't speak like that. But in 3rd grade, if they could say, "This is a birdie," then in 6th grade they'll say, "This is a birdie," and it'll be very good. But in 3rd grade, if you teach them, "This is a birdie," then in 6th grade, it just becomes mechanical because it doesn't have the background feeling, the background cultural depth that it would otherwise. You know what I mean? So you're right. Yeah, because this is a bee. They're not going to be 18 years old and say, "This is a bee." The 18-year-olds so stupid.
Your pronunciation is very standard, but the machine pronounce the sound is very low. 那种就很奇怪，像那个新加坡的英文还那很奇怪，不知道哪里来的，那个不知道哪里来讲，因为不是这种。
That depends on where your game is from. If your game is from Hong Kong, then it's going to be British, Chinese, English. If it's from Yugoslavia, and it's going to be Eastern European. So that just depends on the game.
对，我们花了很久时间，spend a lot of money time to understand what the
Really?
Finally, I find.
Right, and that's good for you. You can go to BBC. BBC has lots of games. Yes. This is right. This is that is I would say this is probably better. Sticky and stinky. Short I and long E. Taiwanese accents. Mix them together. And snack and snake. Snack and snake. Which one? Sticky vowels is the book calls it joining sounds. Because usually if it goes together, it's going to have a vowel in it. And if you say it sounds like, there's no linking sound. It sounds like, because there's no vowel. But if you say it's a dog, it's a, because it's a dog. So the sticky vowel is only vowel, 只有母音的。那 lead joining sounds 是比较广泛，就比如说 th，with the， I went with the man， with the 这是一个 joining sound， 因为有两个 th 会在一起 with the， 所以 joining sound 比较广泛 ，sticky vowel 黏黏的母音是有关系。Linking sounds 可能是跟 joining sound 一样，不一样的。How exactly this is? Virtual reality, right? Yeah, virtual reality. All right, everybody, back up here. See how quick we can get this done. First of all, ready? Hit the gopher. Just hit the gopher. I don't know if it's the real name or not. I think I played it in America, but it's not 不像在台湾那么我们文化的那么重要的东西。Because in Taiwan, everybody knows hit the gopher. In America, we know of hit the gopher, but we don't play it all the time. In Taiwan, it's everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's the game. In America, I played it before, but I never paid attention to it. 没有什么注意过它叫什么名字。Next one, driving simulator. To simulate, what does simulate mean? Yeah, okay. So it makes you, it copies the experience of something else, okay? So it copies a different experience. So you have a driving simulator is cars, and a flying simulator is for airplanes, right? So you can get the computer games that are flying simulators, and it teaches you how to drive an airplane. There's a basketball game. I just call it the basketball game. Is there a special name in Chinese? Oh, just call that the basketball game. Maybe basketball machine. I don't know. The claw machine. Like the claw. If you watch Toys 2, no, not Toys 2. Toy Story. Toy Story 2. Yeah. In part 2, there's the claw machine. So that in America, after this movie came out, the claw machines became very popular. Because there's a really funny scene, because it's aliens. And the claw grabs one and pulls it out and they say, "Ah!" or something. I don't remember what they do, but it's a really funny scene. You can go back and watch the movie. Next one, Connect. Is that what it's called? Do you guys know? There's a, Wii. Wii has the controller, right? Yes. But it also has a thing you put on top of the TV, and it's got a camera. So it can see you move, and when you move, the guy on the screen moves.
Yes.
There's another one for, I think it's Xbox or PS3 or something. And theirs is called Connect, or Connects, or something like that. But I don't know. Video game guys. No idea? So anyway, there's another one, it's kind of like Wii, but it's for PS3 or Xbox. And it's called Connect. Next one, virtual reality. What does virtual mean? Imagine. Virtual means very, very, very similar. It means almost exactly alike. Almost exactly alike. So virtual reality, you put on the goggles, and you put on the gloves, and then you go in the room, and you walk around, and everything you see through the goggles are the glasses you put on your head. So it's almost exactly like reality. So that's why it's virtual reality. Lots of movies about virtual reality. And if you push the wrong button, this is another word, because of the T. 它跟 Tiger Roll 有关系 but 可是因为它有加一个 N 变成 but. You don't have to say it, but you have to understand it again, because we have button, mountain,